because we're getting to a point now where the likes of Sandberg, Degrassi, Verne, we're almost, the old guard of Formula E. We're getting to a point now where, soon they're going to start moving on. And then we're likely going to get some really young, exciting drivers coming through, which we're starting to see a little bit. Deruvel is young. Gunter's only 26 and he's been around forever. There is some exciting young talent in the paddock. And obviously we'll see a lot of that Mazzano as well with the rookie test. So there are some really exciting names in F2 who have seen FE as a real career opportunity other than F1, because in F1 nowadays, to get a seat is virtually impossible unless you're named Kimi Antonelli.
The thing is, with Formula E being unpredictable, 2 points there. Yes, you're absolutely right with Dennis. Massive contrast in fortunes from winning on Friday, to going and basically, having an absolute honker for the second race on Saturday. But if you're Porsche, surely you're going to be looking at him if Da Costa doesn't perform and trying to entice Dennis over to that factory team, with a bit of a sports car sort of. What am I looking for there?
Opportunities.
Opportunity. Yeah. Temptation going on. Sort of saying, come drive for us in the factory team.
See, I had a theory because I've seen it's all now gone to pot because of Andretti being rejected from F1, at least for now. I don't think Jake would want to drive for the factory team, purely because I don't know whether that would put his Red Bull F1 sim duties at risk. Because obviously and this is one of the main reasons why obviously Robin Fries has gone back to Envision, because some teams don't like you working for two manufacturers. Obviously, Envision aren't a manufacturer team; they're a customer team. If Jake were to say, for example, replace Da Costa at Porsche, would Porsche be happy for him to be working for Red Bull as well? It's really interesting. Obviously, it's of course, only time will tell.
Yeah.
But there's if you're Porsche, of course you'd want to look at Jake. Why wouldn't you want the reigning world champion, one of the fastest and best drivers on the grid in your team? So yeah, it's a really interesting point.
Yeah,
I just think if you're Porsche and Da Costa doesn't, if he has a honker of a 2024 and it doesn't get any better for him, and he moves on to pastures new, and then you stick Dennis in the car and say, hey, by the way, come and win Le Mans for us with Jota.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's an opportunity. Oh, by the way, here's a check. Write down how much you want on it. Done. Like you'd be silly to pass that up, wouldn't you? Surely, despite the Red Bull opportunity, because he's not going to get an F1 seat, is he, anytime soon?
No.
Well, I don't know. To be fair, by the sounds of things, Verstappen's off to Mercedes, so who knows?
I think this is where if Andretti had gotten the 11th garage for 2026, perhaps there might have been some temptation. I don't think he would have necessarily have gotten the seat, but I think, of course, there'd have been some temptation to stay around at Andretti. If Porsche were to say to him, look, do you fancy Le Mans for us if you come to race for us in FE? For a driver that's not going to get into F1, surely that's got to be, the dream, to be able to try and win Le Mans. What else is there other than perhaps maybe giving Indy a go? And the thing is, Jake is a phenomenal racing driver. He is so good and he's so quick. Ever since he came into FE, he had immediate impact. He was immediately quick. So I'd like to see him in a factory team. Will it ever happen? I don't know. I guess that's something to find out as the season develops. I'm sure, asking a few teams, they might give away a few secrets.
Unlikely.
If you ask nicely, Tom.
Yeah. If you ask nicely,
if you can find me afterwards, though, and let me know so I can.
One thing you've got to learn, Nick, is that nobody tells commentators anything because they know that one slip of the tongue and it ends up on the bloody broadcast and the whole world knows about it.
Saying that, though, obviously, I met you for the first time in person, obviously in Diriyah, whilst you were talking to McLaren. So.
Oh yeah, that's true. Oh, by the way, did you hear the word on the street that I can't tell you about? No, I actually haven't got anything on there at all. There's fuel some wild rumor that
Right.
Anyway.